welcome to another video, and in this video we are going to talk about what it is like to study at shortlist universities and get funding in mechanical engineering. I have my friend Nikhil here. He's studying mechanical at Purdue. I have done one live video before with him. So if you want to contact him regarding any query, I'm going to leave Facebook group links down below. I've already added him and he can answer particular mechanical queries if you have any. So starting from the background of Nikhil, he can talk about what was his GPA, where did he do his bachelor's, what is his work experience, and then we can go on.
Hello everyone, my name is Nikhil Sharma. I am 2015 pass out in mechanical engineering from Peck University of Technology, Chandigarh. After that, I worked for 2 years in automobile industry, specifically in research and development center. So I am currently doing my master's here in mechanical engineering and specifically in the fields of lithium-ion batteries. So as far as my story goes, after the college finished, I joined Mahindra & Mahindra in Mohali. I was in R&D of transmission components, and during after 1 year of working, I realized that I need to pursue higher education, and then I applied and gave my GRE TOEFL. I got 322 in GRE and 105 in TOEFL, and I had a good GPA of 9.24 out of 10 in my bachelor, so it helped me. I arranged one recommendation letter from my immediate supervisor and two academics from professors in my university.
So Nikhil, can you brief us a little about what kind of projects you did in your bachelor's?
I had interest specifically in the field of solid mechanics, so I did 2 major capstone projects that we had to do in order to complete our degree, and mostly they were in the fields of one was trying to analyze the stresses in a wind turbine during its operation, and one was thermal based on PCM, phase change materials, mostly computational one. But during my job, my focus was main, and my work was mainly on gears, shafts, housings, everything mechanical, bearings, anything that goes in an automobile. So I knew that I wanted to be specifically in the field of solid mechanics, and that was the reason that during finalizing the universities that I wanted to apply to, I put that thing particularly in my mind. During applying and before applying, I had to shortlist the universities, and in order to do that, I went through various rankings as everyone does. Apart from that ranking, I made a list of 22 universities. From those universities, I checked their pages, the areas of mechanical engineering they focus on, and I looked at the not all of the professors but the major professors in the field of solid mechanics, and from that I made a smaller list. And then after that, I created that was my method and my friend's method. We created an Excel sheet. In Excel sheet, we listed down the universities according to their ranking. Then we also gathered various data of that, be it in terms of the annual fees that will be there, the living expenses that will be there, and the major professors that are there, and on those basis I shortlisted the university.
Yeah, and that the list which he's talking about, he can share with us on the Facebook groups. That'll be the best way to share the mechanical list for you guys. Moving on, what he did while waiting period, I think there's a query in a lot of students' mind ki what should we do while there's 6 months before the admission? You have finished your applications in December, January, and then you have this big 6-month chunk which you can do something to improve your profile or increase your work experience. So
I would say that because I was in job, so I continued my job, but my friends who were who quit their job earlier or who were not doing jobs, so what they did was, and I think it was a pretty good thing, that if you know that you are going to, like my case, I knew that I wanted to be in specific core mechanical field. So what I could have done, and I did a bit, was I focused on improving my skills in MATLAB and tried to learn a bit of Python. So apart from that, if you already know the kind of major area that you are going to, be it robotics, be it coding, so you can try to hone those skills. What I did was, during the January, because it's really stressful time in January, February, because some people are receiving the admits and you are looking like, okay, I should receive as soon as possible. And the Purdue admit that I received, it was in April starting. It was way too late.
Yeah,
So,
same here for me as well.
because
Like
Purdue really replies very late. So during that period, it gets sometimes stressed out. But I would suggest that this is the time when you are the most free. If you know specifically the area you want to go into, you should contact the people. What I did was I contacted people in various universities in which I applied, and I asked them if I want to specifically work in this field, what are the kind of softwares, what are kind of the things that I need to know. And from that I came to know that these are the things I need to learn new things, be it let's say you want to go into machine learning, so you want to understand the basic, you can do some course in Coursera or things like that. This is the best time to utilize it.
And I feel the same way, that because during that time you're very stressed out because no admits is coming. The first admit for me as well, which came through, was in March, end of March. So I was stressed out that no admit is coming. What's going to happen? Will I get into a good school or no? Okay, let's talk about which universities you applied to.
So my focus mainly was in United States. So as far as I remember, I applied to Purdue, NCSU, North Carolina State University, MTU. It was a safer option, and I applied to Berkeley, Texas A&M, and apart from that, I applied to two universities in Canada, McGill and Toronto, and one university, Delft, in Netherlands. The thing with Canada is because I knew that I wanted to do my masters with thesis specifically. So the problem was that in order to do a thesis, it's not the way it happens in United States. You have to first contact the professor and get his approval that he is willing to take you as his thesis student. Only after that you can apply for the thesis. Because I was a bit late in applying to Canada, I applied in January 1st or 2nd week, so I was only able to apply in the non-thesis ones. Yeah. So as far as admit go, I got admit from Purdue, NCSU, MTU, as far as United States is concerned, and University of Toronto and Delft. So but the thing was, I was very keen on going to University of Toronto, but it was a non-thesis program. Delft was a thesis program, but there was some concern with respect to the Dutch language
And jobs as well.
and jobs as well. Yeah,
Intern with jobs.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then I chose Purdue.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about how was your first semester. We both finished our first semesters at Purdue, and it has been great. Yeah. Like the 4 months of first semester went really quick.
Really quick.
So let's talk about the courses which you took as a mechanical student, and what were the challenges you faced.
So because I specifically wanted to be in nanomechanics, to apply the field of solid mechanics in nano region, so I wanted to get into computation as well as theoretical kind of subjects. I took 3 courses because from my bachelor's I was you can say kind of happy with taking even 6 or 7 subjects we did in our undergrad, and it seems okay, I won't say that easy, but yeah, somehow we did it. But the thing here is that even doing 3 courses is really hard. It takes a lot of time. Like in a week you have just 2 classes, but in those 2 classes you get the homework and the projects that you have to do, everything. It takes a lot of time. Like it was really crazy even handling the 3 subjects. So the subjects I took was one was a basic course in finite elements, one was machine design, advanced machine design, and one was battery course. It was mostly on introduction to how a battery and its chemical and stresses occur in normal lithium-ion batteries. So these are somehow related to the field that the lithium-ion battery field that I am trying to get into, and that was the reason for these courses. But the best part about studying here, which I feel relative to India, is like you have the liberty to choose any course that you want. There is no compulsion. I mean, just one basic compulsion, like you have to, during your course of masters, you have to do at least 1 math course. This is the compulsion. But apart from that, you can take any course, be it stat or computer science, aerospace, mechanical, anything, any course that you want. I have known seniors who haven't taken a single course of mechanical. They just go to material science or aerospace, and really good courses are there, and they not only challenge you, but after the course is finished, you actually feel that you have learned something. So yeah, it was a really good experience. But during the end, it was like crazy. We didn't have time to sleep and so many projects and assignments to finish. But yeah, that's what we opted for.
Yeah, in the last video I was talking the same about Ishan, how he was right beside my room with Sudarshan and working on his project, and he didn't sleep for 2 days straight. Do you have a limit of credits which you have to take? Like this much you have to complete to.
Yeah, so as far as just like normal international students have to do, we have to be enrolled in at least 9 credits. So a single course usually carries 3 credits. So minimum you have to register for 3 courses. But the thing is that if you let's say you opt for thesis program, so with thesis program there is an option that professor can say, okay, you just take 2 courses, and those rest of the 3 courses, that 3 credits that you want, I can complete them through the thesis that you are doing.
Okay.
So it can work out that way also. But during the course of master thesis, the mechanical department requires us to complete 30 credits. So it means that for 4 semesters, you have to do either 10 subjects, or you can do minimum of 7 subjects, and 9 remaining 9 credits can be covered by your thesis.
And the fee structure is similar for that
yeah.
course, right? That is $30,000 per year. 15,000 per semester. If you're taking more than 8 credits.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Let's talk about how you chose professor, because you worked as a grader under a professor during this semester, and he can talk how he got that position.
So the thing was,
just a minute. I want to mention that as a grader and as a TA, there's a difference between those. Grader gets R by R pay, whereas TA gets full fee waiver and a stipend as well. So he was doing a job as a grader.
So before coming here, during the shortlisting of universities, I had already gone through the various professors, and once I got the admit from Purdue, I again went through, this time in a detailed way, through all the professors, and I tried to finalize which are the professors I am going to talk to, and I sent them email. It was a very succinct email telling what exactly my past profile is, what my ambitions are, in what field I want to work, and mostly because professors usually prefer to have PhD students with them. So most of them replied that they didn't have any position left for thesis. But 2 professors replied me, and when I came to Purdue, I physically went to them and I discussed them in detail what exactly I wanted through my course, what my future aspirations are, what my past experiences, and what I am capable of doing. So after that, I started working on thesis with my professor under whom I'm currently working. So the best part was here is being a graduate student. It is usually in the most US universities. Being a graduate student, you have an option to be a grader of a course. So how a grader works is like the assignments or the homeworks each week that is being given to the undergrad students, they upload it into an online portal. So because the TA has a lot of work like framing the questions, checking the whole system, how the class is working, so he's not able to check each and every question paper, although TAs are the one who check the final exams and quizzes. So what they do is they hire graders, and in order to be hired as grader, what usually the procedure is like, during the starting of semester you mail professors who have been taking specific course, let's say mechanics of material, and you tell that you have already studied this subject, you have passed this subject with this much grade, or maybe what your profile is, and the professor keep you as a grader, and you receive a tablet or Surface Pro, something like that. So there is a weekly assignment that you have to do. Like here what happens is like they give questions on assignments on Wednesday, and next Wednesday you are supposed to submit the answers. So after that Wednesday you have up till the Sunday to check the assignments. So the best part about grader is like it is not a job that you another part-time job where you have to specifically be on that particular shift. So you can stay at home anytime when you during the whole weekend, or from Wednesday to Sunday, whenever you have time, you can just open your Surface, and there is specific instruction on which you have to check. and you receive here in Purdue, because the Indiana law says that minimum required is 7.25. 7.25. So the department pays you that much, and on the basis of how many graders are present there in the course, depends how much hours you will be paid. But since the limit for international student is 20 hours per week maximum, so it because we were 4 graders for, I guess, 300 students. So we were supposed to work for, because it used to take 18 or 20 hours. So we were paid for 20 hours. There are some courses in which the students are less, so the graders are paid for 10 hours. It usually depends on understanding between.
And how much were you getting paid for the
20 hours.
No, like how much per hour?
7.2.
Really? Minimum?
Minimum. It actually depends on department to department. Apart from that, this grader job help you, at least somehow helps you a bit in getting your financials right. And apart from that, you gain an experience, like because if you are going to check a question, you actually first of all question the way solution has been given to you by TA. And apart from that, you also learn things, maybe things which you earlier thought were incorrect. So it helps you in somehow in a smaller way build your profile, so that next time you can apply for TA, so you have a better chance for it.
And congratulations to Nikhil, he got funding this time.
Yeah,
so we are going to make a separate video for this semester, which is the spring one.
The spring one.
Yeah. So we are going to make a separate video on him explaining how he got funded by the professor. That's going to be a total separate video that's coming soon. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do it. Stay tuned for it. Okay, let's talk about jobs in mechanical engineering. We both attended Mechanical Career Fair Industrial Roundtable, and let's listen to him. How was his experience regarding that?
The thing is that most of people usually now know, but a lot of people have misunderstanding, like that job career fair is similar the way it used to happen in India, like companies will come, they select, interview and everything. Job fair is more kind of a promotion here. So during the job fair, there are so many stalls, and before that there is a online portal in Purdue in which you can see which company will be coming here and in which stall it will be coming on which day. It was, I think, for 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days.
So the best part is you can specifically filter out, like this particular company is looking for interns, this is looking for full-time hires, this company will sponsor you for F1 visa, this company will take international students, and on the basis of that you can make a list on which companies you are going to apply to. And then using your folders and being in formals, you go to there and there's a huge line, and
it's very intimidating as well.
Yeah,
it's exactly. The same how so I made a video with Rachna studying MEM. Yeah, she explains the same way how intimidating.
So it's mostly like you just have to pitch yourself in those 5-10 seconds, because it's just an information session. But if you are able to pitch something fruitful that you have done, something very important or something very good work that you have done, so maybe the company representative will look at your resume and maybe contact you. And apart from that, there are other ways also. Mostly the best part about today is that you can apply through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I started applying through LinkedIn, and because my profile was mostly in automobiles, so I received 2 calls from companies. But the thing was that they were looking for full-time students, and I wanted just an intern. So that also happened. In the end, it's just that you have to be specific, like in which industry you want to go to. Your profile should be similar to that. It's not like you just want to go to that company and you don't care that let's say there are a lot of people I meet that they just want to go into Apple or something, although they don't have a profile or some kind of a thing that can be useful for the company. So it doesn't matter that which company it is, the job profile matters a lot, and your syncing with your profile syncing with that job profile is something that matters a lot.
Yeah, true. And one more thing I would like to ask, what is the job scenario regarding mechanical right now? Is it difficult as has been said on internet, like in mechanical there's no jobs. Is it like that?
I would say that after interacting with the seniors of mechanical who have recently passed out, I have realized that yeah, it is a bit difficult because of the current environment, but not that much difficult the way people have shown portrayed. Yeah, but the thing is that in the end it just comes down to single thing, like companies want workforce, and if you have the skills that you can offer, they will do anything to keep you. And apart from that, the current trend, because automobile in industry is also a lot of automation is coming, the shift is mostly towards automation and robotics, especially even in the mechanical fields, and a lot of mechanical engineering areas are being overlapped by machine learning. I mean, like first I heard, I was really surprised at what is machine learning doing in mechanical. But a lot of areas, there are a lot of research groups here in Purdue also who work specifically in design using machine learning, and they work not only in the mechanical industry but in Intel, HCL, and etc. So there is a shift towards automation. So definitely, even if you are mechanical engineering, better learn coding. Yeah. It is going to help you a lot.
That's it for this video. We have covered the major points. We have covered everything. How he shortlisted the university, what was he doing in the 6 months while he was waiting, how he shortlisted and how he looked for the professors, how he got a grader job here. Also, we talked about jobs. We want to talk about H1B as well, but that's very similar situation for every branch right now. It's just similar. If you haven't watched my previous video regarding MEM or CS, go watch them and jump to the H1B scenario. It's exactly the similar. If the company is sponsoring you, you will get a STEM extension. You can easily work for 3 years here.
Yeah.
Right. And if you want to say anything, add anything regarding mechanical, go ahead, and then we can conclude.
The thing is, the way we come from India, from mechanical branches, like we mostly think mechanical just in terms of industry, be it production line or something. The scenario is changing a lot because it is not that much visible in India, but once you come here and you interact with people, people who are in industry, I would say that controls and automation is a field that is growing way faster, and it is capturing each and every traditional kind of industries we had. So these are two areas I would say are going to grow really, really fast and overlap with the rest of the mechanical ones.
Sure, I agree. Awesome. If you want to contact Nikhil regarding any doubts, I'm going to add him in the Facebook group. The Facebook links are in the description. Go check them out. And like this video, if you have any comments or if you have any questions, post them down below as well if you want to. But I would recommend you to do that on Facebook groups, because then I can tag him and then he can answer really well. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Thanks to Nikhil for showing up again. The last live video was really good and people are asking me to make a mechanical one, so here it is. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, I'll see you in the next one.